Back another album review. Today's review is on the original soundtrack for the movie Stealth. Last year I reviewed the soundtrack containing the songs from various artists. This time I'll review the OST. The soundtrack was composed, produced, arranged, and mixed by BT. The executive producer was Robert Townsend, and the music supervisor was Bob Adami. Some additional music was composed by Trevor Morris and Michael DiMatteo. Mixing was done at Binary Acoustics in Los Angeles. The soundtrack was released on August 30th, 2005 on Maurice Sarabande Records. Now let's talk about the songs. This review will contain spoilers from the movie, so watch this review at your own risk. The soundtrack starts with Stealth main titles. The title is self-explanatory. The next track is War Machine. The fighter jets that are featured in the movie are called the FA-37 Talon. The jet has stealth tech, catapult-assisted takeoff and arrested recovery capabilities, a swing-wing mechanism, and can travel up to Mach 5. In order to travel at Mach 5, the jets would need to be powered by scramjet engines. Going that fast will generate a lot of heat, so the jets obviously need to be made of titanium. The cost of just one of those jets would probably be somewhere around at least $500 million. After that is Eddie's theme. Eddie is the unmanned version of the Talon. Instead of having cat bar capabilities, he has VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing capabilities. Next up is the pilot's theme. The main pilots are Ben, Henry, and Kara. Up next is The Joy of Flight. The Talon kind of gives the viewer an idea of what 6th-gen fighter jets could probably be like. We followed up with Eddie's New Data. There's one part where the song Make a Move by Incubus was being played on what's essentially Eddie's brain. Now that's followed by the vertical drop. The Talon is shown to be very agile in the movie. Right after that is Hell of a First Mission. The first mission was a success, and a bunch of terrorists got obliterated. Now the following track is Lightning Strike. One of the Talons gets struck by lightning, and it transfers over to Eddie and messes up his system. The track after that is Thailand. Thailand is just one of the countries featured in the movie. The track that comes next is Love Theme. I should mention that Josh Lucas played Ben, Jamie Foxx was Henry, and Jessica Biel was Kara. The track that comes after that is I'll Tell You Back at the Boat. The USS Abraham Lincoln is featured throughout the movie. The film does take place in the future, but the exact year isn't specified. It also shows the US Navy still operating the FA-18 Hornet. In the real world, all the Navy's Hornets have either been decommissioned or converted to the Super Hornet model. The track that's next is Quantum Computer. Keith Orbit is the character who created Eddie. The track that follows is Eddie is the Whole Idea. I once showed a friend of mine a screenshot featuring Eddie, and he said, "That's too much." I said, "Don't worry, he's not real." Now, what's next is Flight to Tajikistan. I mentioned that Eddie and the Talons would need to be made of titanium in order to survive the heat generated when flying at Mach 5. The material used in their construction is not specified, but it's most likely titanium. What's after that is Tin Man Will Prosecute. Eddie ends up going rogue in the movie. Now what comes next is Attack at Tajikistan. Some Tajikistani terrorists got obliterated. What comes after that is Henry's death. Ben, Kara, and Henry try to stop Eddie, but Henry crashes into a mountain. His jet was blown up and his body was incinerated in the explosion. What follows is the aftermath. Kara's town was damaged in a later scene. The next track is Kara's ejection. Kara ejected from her Talon before it self-destructed. I don't think real 6th Gen fighter jets will have a self-destruct feature, but they will certainly be stealthier, more technologically advanced, and more expensive than the current 5th Gen fighters. After that is Camel Hump. There's one scene where Ben and Eddie encounter a few Russian pilots operating Sukhoi Su-37 Terminators. The Su-37 was actually cancelled in the real world. Right after that is Korean Waterhole. Kara's parachute was destroyed by fragments of her destroyed Talon. She survived but was captured by the North Koreans. Next up is Saving Eddie. Eddie was damaged during a dogfight against the Russian pilots. Ben fired a missile that went underwater. It exploded and drenched Eddie in water. The water got through the bullet hole. Up next is Eddie Feels Sorry. The water damaged some of his internal components. We followed up with Cummings' suicide. Captain George Cummings was the founder of the Talon program, and he blew his brains out near the end of the movie. That's followed up by DMZ. The demilitarized zone is the border between North and South Korea, and it's ironically the most militarized place in the world. Ben piloted Eddie all the way to North Korea in order to save Kara. The second to last track is the death of Colonel Yoon. There's actually more dead North Koreans than dead Russians in the movie. Even though North Korea was portrayed in a negative way, the film surprisingly didn't get banned in that country. The soundtrack ends with Eddie's sacrifice. Eddie sacrificed himself by going all kamikaze on the North Korean helicopter so Ben and Kara could live. There's a post-credits scene where part of Eddie's brain survived the explosion and is reactivated. Keep in mind that Stealth didn't get a sequel because it flopped at the box office. It's strange to think that the film's 20th anniversary is going to be this year. There's no information available regarding how the soundtrack formed commercially. However, I've seen that some people online really like it. Now for my thoughts. I think this is a great OST. It really fits the tone of the movie. While the film is a mixed bag, the special effects and the music are the best things about it. Overall, I highly recommend the soundtrack. Now it's the part where I question you. Have you listened to the OST for Stealth? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? Have you seen the movie? And let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notified of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.